In 1928, John F. Harris donated 500 acres of prairie grassland to the city of Lincoln as a Christmas gift. When Pioneers Park was dedicated on May 17, 1930, Harris donated an additional 100 acres. Ernst H. Herminghaus, Nebraska's first academically trained landscape architect, developed an ambitious master plan to include an aquarium, swimming pool, tennis court, boating lake, and camping areas. With the onset of the Depression, these plans were scaled back. There are 6 main areas to the park: the East 80, Meadow, the golf course, Pinewood Bowl, picnic area, and the Interpretive Center. The East 80 acres is a formal entry to the park where visitors see Buffalo Circle, the duck pond, with grand alleys to guide the view toward the state capitol and the interior of the park. Herminghaus designed winding roads for cars, paths for hiking and biking, and approximately 4 miles of bridle trails. The meadow area is about 70 acres. The original intent was to preserve a natural prairie. The bridle path through the North Horseshoe was an original design feature and contributes to the historical significance of this area. The Pinewood Bowl area includes a sun pond and Indian Hill. This area is about 35 acres. Construction of the Pinewood Bowl began in 1947 and continued through 1951. Chief Red Cloud is honored with the smoke signal statue. On the north side of the park, about 170 acres, is the golf course and clubhouse. This area contributes highly to the integrity of the park. The clubhouse was completed in 1939. Water from the constructed reservoir supplied water during the drought of 1934. The picnic area is about 145 acres for family picnics, recreation, and sports. It contains the original picnic shelter, space, and shade provided by a large treed area. The Interpretive Center area occupies over 100 acres. A bird sanctuary was originally planned for the area that is now Chet Ager Center. The windmill, which was once used for pumping water for the plants, remains in its original location and was constructed by the WPA. The Park Zoo was established in 1929 and the Prairie Center added in the late 1980s.
When they go by my place right off of West Van Dorn, they always stare at all my horses, every car and every kid that you can imagine. So what's the attraction with horses? Mm-hmm. What would Pioneer Park be without horses? I can't even imagine. Beautiful park in Nebraska.
It is
sure.
So beautiful.
And the horses make it even more so.
Well, I love Pioneers Park dearly. It's a deep part of our families, being involved with the park situation, being all horse people. I was about 5 years old when I first started riding in Pioneers Park, and I've been riding those trails that are in Pioneers Park at this time for over 75 years. And I testified in the city that there was always to be trails in that park as per the Harris family's request.
That they were supposed to have that be for horses because there were a lot of horses in those days when they made that park. And there was a trail over there. It's been discontinued now, but when we had our riding stable, we did ride over across the road over by where the nature center is.
Oh, way back in the nature center area.
Well, it's right next to the nature center. There's a fence, and then there's a long row of trees. Mm-hmm. And that was, I think it was a road at one time. I think they had horses and buggies that went down that at one time. But we did ride horses over there, too.
I've got everyone that boards here with me. They go all the time, almost daily. You know, but people say they don't use it anymore. How do they know? Do you sit there and take count? Like you may go after work, you may go on Sunday evening. It can be anything. Mm-hmm. There's no one taking count.
We had a lot of trails. I bet there were 4 miles of trails, so it was really nice. And also, there was a 4-H arena over there. And another road is shut off now, but it was a gravel road, and you could go down, you could drive down to the 4-H arena and park your horse and trailer, and then get out and go ride in the arena or ride in the park or whatever, and you can't even get in there now, so it's kind of a shame.
Well, compared to today,
yeah.
No, there's no comparison whatsoever. I mean, they were well maintained. There was signage all over through the park, bridle path, bridle path, bridle path. We knew the rules, regulations. Everybody stayed on the bridle path, and they were well maintained. But it is on the, as you know, on the historic register, or national register, and the horse trails were a huge contributing factor in all that documentation. And to reduce our horse trails from what was once 4 miles plus minus down to about 1 1/3 miles, it's just not fair to the horse community.
I know when we had our riding stable, they maintained the trails pretty well. They even had wood chips on the trails.
We would like to basically have the horse trails restored to the original plans. We know that may not be possible, but we're also flexible to work with now the cross-country runners, which is becoming a big part of the park.
But it used to be when you crossed the second road, there was a Y, and you could go either direction. Now you can only go right, but you could go left also, and that went across the road and around down below. And that's where the 4-H arena was, right there. And you could go, so you could make a big circle, which was really nice.
And so people actually parked down in the meadow by the arena when
They
it was
parked
there.
on the road.
There's
a road that's been closed now.
I see.
They just let it grow over, and they don't maintain it.
We have, since last fall, been in contact with Lynn Johnson, the Administrative Director of Parks, and Jerry Shorner, Superintendent of Parks, and they've been really good to work with. We've had a good relationship, and we hope to continue that relationship with the Park Department. They have done some things to improve since we've been involved in this entire thing, but there's still a lot of obstacles on those trails that need to be corrected.
Like I say, it's a beautiful area, and people like to do all kinds of activities. People like to golf, people like to walk, people like to do all kinds of stuff. People like to ride horses, and I think they should be able to, and they should have a place close by where they can. And we were given this opportunity with this park to have horse trails and be able to ride horses, and I think that they should maintain them and let people know that they can come out here and ride.
The Park Department has been real good about showing us some future plans, some future trails, and I think we can get this settled properly.
And I think there's plenty of room for all of us, runners and whatever else. There's plenty of room.
But we still have to maintain, I believe, the history of our country, and that's the horse.
The people that walk out there and are out in the park love to see the horses out there. They enjoyed it. They want to come up and pet your horse, and I think having horses out there is a really positive thing.
Lincoln offers a lot to its citizens. It's a place of culture, a place of history, sports, museums, gardens, a place for families to celebrate and enjoy.
we've got a golden opportunity. Leave history alone. It's there. Keep it.
And I think that would just be such a loss for Lincoln if you couldn't come out there and ride your horse.
Horses are very amazing animals.
They are. They're wonderful animals.